What up, y'all? This is Dick Hollywood. First episode of Gangster Stories. Street stories from that town, Indianapolis, Indiana. Place where Mike Epps, Vivica Fox, a few other people from. I'm gonna start this one off. Just to give y'all a brief history of myself. I'm 52 years old. And back in the 90s, all through the 90s, some of the 2000s, some of the beginning of the 2000s, I was selling drugs. I was in the streets. Started off small like everybody else and ended up, really doing some big things. This is the first episode of my life. I'm gonna start from the beginning of when I entered the drug game, because that's pretty much when my life just became just real interesting. You know what I mean? Like all kind of stories. So what I come up with first, when I first started to really get involved full time in the drug game, because in the beginning, you know how you would hold down a job at a warehouse or something, and you had some packs on you or something, and you go there and you acquire some stings, you know what I mean? White people, black people, whatever. And back then, crack was jumping. And so, you go to work and you're going to find somebody smoking crack, you know what I mean? And before you know it, you work in these temp services. So you bouncing from warehouse to warehouse, job to job. And next thing you know, you got enough stings where you ain't even got to go to work. You know what I mean? Everybody's hitting you. You popping up on these jobs during lunch, in the morning, and, second shift or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of jumped off like that. Anyway, this particular time, I was getting fronted by some guys, and that's a whole nother story. I'll tell you about that later. But I was getting fronted by some guys that was really making some moves in Indianapolis. I mean, they was, at the time, they was probably like 21, 22. And at this particular time, this story I'm about to tell you, I was probably like 20 going on 21, in between that. And so, well, no, shit. Yeah. Yeah, I was about 20, 21. They was probably about 23, 24, because they're a little older. And so anyway, they was fronting me some dope. And I ended up moving to the old neighborhood that I grew up in, and it was 17th and Bell Fountain. And it was crashing. And I'm noticing that these niggas can just stand on the block and get money. You know what I mean? I started off getting money in the suburbs where you bang off your page. You'll pull up on a nigga house, you know what I'm saying? Or a nigga pull up on you. But I moved back to the old neighborhood, and you can just stand on the corner and just get a bag. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tripping. So I'm noticing how they doing it. So I figured shit. And I'm seeing these niggas just got packs, and I got the plug to just pretty much kind of get, you know what I mean, a little bit more than what they get, enough to supply these niggas. You know what I mean? And so I tried it, and you know what I mean? I got it. But I had a team of niggas that I was dealing with already, that I was affiliated with, I knew of, and I put a team of niggas that was, up north, you know what I mean? Not where I was at, but up north, and it was like 4 niggas. And so I'm putting them on. Now, rule number 1 in the game, and I had to learn this, is you don't front what you get in front of. You know what I'm saying? You don't front no dope to nobody and you get in front of, because apparently you didn't have the money to pay for it in the first place. That's why you got it fronted. So if you front to another nigga and they don't pay you, well, then you got to hustle extra hard, and you got to come up with that money to pay the plug. You know what I'm saying? And, you just don't do that. That's just a big risk. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know this at the time. This is when I first learned this lesson. So this one particular guy, I ain't going to say no names. I'm going to call him Steve. Steve, we was working out. Everything was cool. We grew up together. You know what I mean? Went to middle school. You know what I mean? We grew up together. And Steve was doing okay. And when I first met Steve, he didn't have no pager. He was living with his mama, and he kind of came to me like, "Man, I heard you was woo woo." So bet. Third time, he didn't call me back. He didn't get in contact with me. He didn't send no mail. He didn't say, "Hey man, it's gonna be a minute." He didn't say nothing. He just boop, just stopped calling. So I was like this at the time. Well, damn, if you ain't called it within the time you usually call to re-up or give me my money, I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? What's understood ain't got to be explained. You ain't got to explain to me. After so long, you gone. You know what I mean? So now it's on me. You know what I mean? And so I let 30 days go by. So now I'm calling his house. He stayed with his mama. Now back then, wasn't no cell phones. You know what I mean? You rode around with a pocket full of change and a pager, so you can use the payphone. So I had to call his mama house. He wasn't paging me back. He wasn't calling me back. So I had to call his mama's house, and I'm bugging the house phone. I'm calling. Now he had an older sister that just got out the penitentiary after doing almost 10 years because she was with a big baller back in the day, and she was fine. But at this particular time she was on dope. So I'm stinging her in front of her little brother. And her little brother was my age, so he wasn't younger than me, you know what I mean? Just younger than her. Anyway, so I'm calling the crib and she's answering the phone and she's steady saying, "He's not here, he's not here. I ain't seen him, I ain't seen him." And she knew what time was, she knew what the deal was. So this one particular time I called and she said, "He's not here." But I hear him in the background and Steve is saying, "Stop, little Steve," talking to his son. Because his son was named Steve. "Stop, little Steve, quit." So I kind of chuckled, was like, "Oh yeah, he ain't there. Okay." So I hung the phone up. So now I'm like, okay, this nigga, you know what I mean? I mean, he know the rules, I know the rules, you know what I'm saying? So okay, you know what I mean? So I call again one time and his sister answered the phone, but this time he snatches the phone from her and he says, "Look, nigga, quit calling on my motherfucking mama house, nigga. You already know what time it is, nigga. I'm not paying your punk ass, so nigga, quit calling over here." And just like that, how I was just quiet, that's how I was on the phone. Because see, I was smart enough to know that I'm not going to send no threats to you to make you be on guard. You obviously think I'm pussy, so I'm gonna make you comfortable enough to continue thinking I'm pussy, because that means that's gonna be easier for me to get close to your ass. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, hung the phone up. Immediately, nigga, immediately went and got my girl car while she at work. Boom, got her car. Went and posted up on the nigga. Went and posted up on it. I'm ready to let this nigga have it. Now it ain't about the $250. Now it's about the principle. Because see, do do understand that when you in this game and you on the wrong end of the principle part, however you play that part will determine whether you live or die in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. It's We understand $250. I get it. It's weak. You know what I'm saying? But when you in this game, there's rules that come with it. Sometimes you got to stand on shit, even if you don't want to stand on it. And if you wasn't ready to handle all that shit and come out of character, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be in the game. And I was already in it. I convinced myself this is what it is. So anyway, went late on the nigga. I'm thinking to myself, and it started pouring down, raining. So it was like, ooh, this is even better. I'm gonna let this nigga have it as soon as he come out that house. He don't. And I laid for a minute, all the way until it was time to pick my girl up from work. And she worked and she closed. So it was probably like 11, 12 midnight. So went and scooped her up. About a week go by, I'm with my cousins. They twins, Mike and John. Now the reason why they call Mike and John is because one twin came out at 11:50 something, the other twin came out at 12 something. So their mother decided to call them Michael and John, but they're identical twins. Got two different birthdays, day after each other. Anyway, I'm with my cousins Mike and John. We at the liquor store. It's probably about 12, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we had to get back to their house. We had to cut through this particular parking lot, and it was a Hooks drugstore. Now they would call it a CVS, but it was a Hooks drugstore. So we cutting through this parking lot, and lo and behold, I see Steve. Like I said, we're gonna call him Steve. I see Steve bending down, talking to some bros. And he's like, yeah, he chopping it up, And I'm noticing from afar, the nigga Dusty Fresh though. Got a nice little gold chain, fresh white tee, fresh jeans, Back then you had some dope man Nikes, Nike Cortez or something, I think that's what they call. With some dope man Nikes on, He didn't have a beeper, like I told you in the beginning. He didn't have a beeper. Now he got a beeper, So he Dusty fresh haircut, and he raises up. Now he wasn't no little nigga. We was probably about the same size at that time. So this wasn't no hoe ass nigga. I didn't think he was. If I thought he was, I wouldn't have ran up on him, wouldn't have been ready to pull his thing out. I just would have just knew he was a hoe ass nigga and just would have whooped him. But I respected his gangster, But I knew what we got to do. So I said, hey, Steve, what's up? He raises up. And I could tell by his body language and his gesture, he was telling the bras, this hoe ass nigga, I can't wait to see this. Hold on for a minute, this bitch ass nigga. And he raises up. He said, what's happening? I said, what's up, man? He said, yeah, nigga, what's happening? He starts walking up on me real fast. What's happening, nigga? What's this shit I hear about you? You gonna pop me when you see me, nigga? What's happening? Well, my twin cousins, they park. It's summertime, the windows rolled down. And they obviously hear how this nigga's talking back to me, right? So I told them, if you see me pull the pistol out, turn the car on. Well, they automatically heard how this nigga was talking. They ain't even wait on me to pull the pistol out because they already knew what I was going to do. They already knew I wasn't having that. So they turned the car on. And I hear them turn the car on, which was my cue. You know what I'm saying? Bam. I said, because I am, bitch ass nigga, what's happening? So now he's like, hold on, man. Woo. I'm still thinking, though. Damn, this is in front of everybody. I do want to let this nigga have it. But he forced my hand right now, and I got to demonstrate. But I don't have to go all the way. But he's like, he copping pleas, so I'm glad he copping pleas. So that's gonna give me some room to get out of this situation because it's people. I don't want to go to the penitentiary because I was getting money. I was on my way getting money. It's the beginning of this shit. And so he says, well, just hold on. I said, what was that shit you was talking to me? But you was talking about you gonna pop me, man. Shit, why you think I feel? Woo? He said, well, man, let's just go around back and talk about it. Let's just go around back and deal with this. So I agreed. I'm glad, okay, we're gonna go around back because if I do demonstrate, it ain't gonna be in front of everybody. Somebody gonna say something, but it ain't gonna be in front of everybody. You know what I mean? But what I didn't know was he had made contact with a nigga at the payphone, which was a nigga who was riding with him. I didn't know this. You know what I'm saying? And they obviously didn't know I was with somebody. They thought I was just by myself. So when he said, let's go around in the back and deal with this, that was his cue. That, okay, this nigga's going on. He's taking this nigga around back. We getting ready to handle this nigga. So boom, I go around back. While he's small talking, keeping me cool, I hear my cousins, I hear voices saying, Richie, look out. And I hear a car zooming from around the corner and it comes straight for me. And it's this nigga and got into this nigga's car and came around the corner and he's just about to hit me. I jumped out the way. Had I not jumped out of the way, he would have hit me. But he didn't go all the way because it was a brick wall behind me. So I jumped out the way. He jumps out the car, immediately jumps out the car with the pistol. And I noticed this nigga got the same punk ass little 25, pearl handle 25 pistol that I got. Now, he jumps out the car and the scene just went in slow motion. Cause I'm trying to think, should I just start letting this nigga have it immediately? Like, I want to play it out because I don't want to be the one. I want to be on the defensive side at all times. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the offensive side with this nigga here. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know him and you know what I mean? So he jumps out and I let him run all the way up on me, but he runs all the way up on me without aiming the pistol. You know what I mean? He's just running up on me with the pistol by his side. And he runs up on me. He's like, nigga, this is BL, nigga. You were on the 5, bitch ass nigga. Woo, woo. Now, let me remind you, back then in Naptown, all respect to Vice Lords, GDs, all that. All respect to that. No, no disrespect. But back then, it wasn't popping like that now. And so it was more about getting money. So to be honest, and just honestly speaking how I felt about the gang culture at that time. I respect it, I always have. But at that particular time, you know what I mean? I'm looking at it like that time ain't fucking with no motherfucking gangs. This all about money. What you niggas on, man? This punk ass shit, nigga. You know what I mean? This is how I'm thinking about this the gang culture. So him talking that VL shit wasn't no threat. Like, man, I'm really thinking like, man, you definitely ain't on the level I'm on talking that punk ass shit. I'm thinking at the time. All respect to VLs and disciples and all that. But so while he's talking, he's like, ooh, and I just simply said in a calm voice, I said, but bro, you don't know me. Because I didn't know, I had never seen this nigga before. Didn't know he was from that same neighborhood that I'm coming up and grinding in. But he was a younger dude, just trying to earn his stripes. Because this nigga I'm into it with was my age at the time. We like 21, 22. You know what I mean? This nigga was probably like 19. You know what I mean? And so, but he had a nice size on him, been to boys' school, whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever to get tatted up, you know what I'm saying? So he's hollering woo woo, and I simply said, but bro, you don't know me. And he said, bitch ass nigga, I ain't gotta know you. But before he said, I ain't gotta know, as soon as he said, I ain't gotta know, as soon as he got to the word no, I heard up and put my thing, because I'm sitting there talking, and he, and I'm looking at his hand like he ain't even pointing the pistol. So I'm gonna catch him in the middle of one of these sentences. I was like, man, but I don't even know you. He said, man, but you ain't got to know me. Pistol right up here. Now there's some drunks on the side of the wall, and they like, little bro, you don't want to do that, man. You gonna get life. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. And I didn't want to do that. I really didn't. But I'm in this game, and it's demonstration time. And I knew what the consequences was going to be, but I was ready for it. You know what I mean? I was ready for it. And all over a punk ass measly $250. But like I said, it was the principle at this particular time. And I'm new to the game. What I look like going back to my niggas talking about, yeah, this nigga ran out one and, he demonstrated on me like, and the word gonna get around like, nigga, get out this, give me my shit. You don't need to be in this. Niggas is taking shit from you. You know what I mean? So I knew I had to stand up something. I had to be standing on something. So I got the pistol up to his head. I snatched his necklace off. I snatched his pager. Of course, the first thing I did was snatch the pistol out of his hand. So I give his pistol to one of my cousins. I take my pistol and I give it to the other one. And I turn to him. Now I'm thinking, this shit is getting a little overheated. You know what I mean? And I really want this nigga's ass. You done got in the way, stirred up some extra shit. You know what I mean? You about to get everybody pop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm calm, brought it down a level, and I said, hey, nigga, you gonna give me a fair one. The nigga who owe me money, Steve. All right, Steve, let's bang this out right here, bro. You got your nigga, he about to get everybody killed. Me and you grew up together. Me and you know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? So come on, man. Square up, nigga. What's happening? You know what I mean? What's up, bro? Come on, man. You know what I mean? Nigga, we gonna fight it out. If you win, I'm gonna go my way, you go your way. There's nothing to be said. If I win, cool. I'm gonna feel like I got it out your ass. You don't owe me. I'm gonna go my way, you go your way. We can continue doing what we do. You know what I'm saying? Fair one. You can't say I didn't give you a fair one. You can't say I just ran up on you just busting. You can't say that. I'm gonna make niggas respect my shit all the way to the end. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what's happening, man? So he's like, but what you mean, woo woo? So he bringing up, but we grew up together, woo woo. So I'm trying to play into it and calm him down so I can ease up on him. And then I think I'm getting close enough, and I almost had him, and he ducked. I said, damn, nigga, you don't want to give me a fair one? You was just talking shit over the phone. You ain't paying my punk ass. You ran up on me just now, talking about what the fuck was I gonna do? You got your partner about to get everybody killed, and then on top of that, nigga, you do owe me $200 and punk ass $50. You don't want to fight, but man, I hurried up, ran to my cousin, grabbed one pistol. I don't know whose pistol it was, because both pistols look exactly alike. So I don't know if I grabbed his pistol, grabbed mine. I grabbed the pistol, bam, start busting, boom, boom. Well, it was back, because it was 25. Back, boom, all of a sudden I hit him in the thigh. Oh shit, oh shit. So I'm letting the rest go. I think they might only have 6 or 7 bullets in the 25. So I run back, snatch the other pistol, and I'm trying to, finish the nigga. I'm trying to run back up on him. He jumps the fence. I get back to the car. The nigga who I took shit from, he's still standing there. He's just amazed. He didn't see how I'm demonstrating. He's just shocked. He's hoping I won't come back with whatever I got left in the pistol and just gone because he know I'm already there. I'm turned up. I'm on 10. You know what I mean? So he's freezing. So I said, nigga, get your punk ass up out of here, bitch. Before I pop you in your motherfucking head, nigga. Hurry up, get up out of here. So he scrambled to the car. So now, of course, he don't want to leave his partner, so he come in the neighborhood. I don't want to leave the nigga living at this time, so I'm coming in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So we ended up meeting at the stop sign while he looking and we looking. But what we didn't know is had I let this nigga relax and had I not told these niggas to keep this nigga still and let him get in the car, it was another pistol in the car. In the driver's side, the nigga who I was into it with, his pistol. You know what I'm saying? So he's driving. We meet up at the stop sign. All of a sudden, he raises up. I'm thinking we got him shook. You know what I mean? I'm about to raise my pistol and really get your ass on up. This nigga raises up with a big ass Clint Eastwood boy and say, boom, boom. Now remember, my shit was his shit was boom, boom, boom. We're hearing metal, ping, ping, ping. And then he starts out. We like, what the fuck? I was like, boy, if we'd have let that nigga relax, everybody would have got murdered. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I run to the crib after the heat's died down. Next day, I'm getting beeps and shit. Man, what just happened? Well, I don't say nothing. Next day, detectives walk up on my grandmother's porch. I hurry up, run back to the back room, and I tell my uncle, because my grandmama wasn't there. My uncle was there. I said, man, look, tell them I don't live here. What you doing, man? I said, I'll explain later. Just tell them I don't live here. You ain't seen me. So he goes and he's like, yeah, we're investigating a shooting that just happened the other day, and we think that Richard Edwards got some answers. He got some information, and he's not under arrest. We just want to talk to him and get some information. Well, he ain't lived. He moved. I ain't seen Richie. He ain't. Well, okay. Well, here's a card, and if you talk to him, tell him to give us a call. He's not under. We just want him to come downtown and give us a little information, answer some questions. Like, okay. And I never heard it. I never heard nothing else behind that. Never heard nothing else behind that. Now, I don't know who told the detectives anything about that incident. I don't want to say the dude who was with him because he was standing on VL, and I don't want to say he snitched. I don't even want to say Steve. I don't even want to say Steve snitched. I want to say I'm assuming his sister. I'm assuming he said I don't know who did it, but his sister called the detectives out in the house. Was like, look, dude, he dealing with Richie Edwards, and he lives in such. He might give y'all the questions, the answers y'all need. So they came looking for me, but I didn't hear nothing else. But 2 or 3 years later, by this time, I done leveled up in the game. I'm, leveled up in the game. That's a whole nother story. We're gonna get to that. But I done leveled up in the game with a particular type of guys that, hey, that's a whole nother story. I will get to it later. But my mama calls me one day and she says, you remember you got into it with that one boy, Steve? Ain't his name Steve? I said, yeah. Didn't you shoot him? I said, yeah. Well, he just helped me with my groceries. I said, what? Yeah, he just helped me with my groceries. Now, I kind of panicked, but I didn't. But it made me think like, okay, Richie, you obviously demonstrated enough to put in niggas' heads. Don't come back this way with that bullshit. I never been a bully. Some niggas still think I'm soft. You know what I mean? I've always had a kind heart, but I've always stood on shit. It might have been the wrong shit. I stood on it and represented it the way I needed to represent it. You know what I mean? With enough courage Might have been afraid inside, but I demonstrated with enough courage out here where apparently he knew I wasn't to be fucked with. I ain't the nigga to be fucked with. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't nothing to brag about. I thank God he allowed me to get through that with my life and his life. You know what I'm saying? Because we cool now. He pretty good guy. You know what I mean? And and I've lost a son due to gun violence. You know what I mean? So I've wised up a whole lot. But this is not a story to brag on, you know, on what I've done. But I just felt like the life I've lived is interesting enough to where I can tell some stories. I can keep your attention with some of these stories, and there's there's moral to these stories. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get to more stories, and we're gonna talk in depth about life. Period. Not just mine. I'm gonna tell stories about people that I know. I'm very close to. You know what I mean? Just the things that I experienced in the streets of Naptown. You know what I mean? I guess yeah, I was a street nigga. Yeah, I was a thug. I was a street nigga. For real. I was a street nigga. You know what I mean? And my kids don't see that. My kids see an old nigga with gray hair, 52 old nigga. You know what I mean? They think I'm trying to be young, I'll be with the braids and the little earring in my nose. They ain't know I've been having this earring before they was even born. You know what I mean? Tats and shit. Like they think I'm new to this. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because they think one way and they don't know, nigga, I am that. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get to more stories. Once again, this is Richie Edwards, aka Dick Hollywood, with more Naptown street stories. I hope y'all enjoyed this story. It's more to come. I want to say hit the like button, all that corny shit. Hit the like button, share, leave some comments or whatever, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to start this thing up for real. Storytelling, I love storytelling, but it's the way you tell it. And I think I can tell a good story. What y'all think? Leave some comments, hit the like button. I'm going to holler at y'all. I'm out of there.